I can speak English. People can understand me, right? I can even understand others. That's enough. That's what a lot of people say. And do you know what they are doing? They are feeling comfortable. They don't feel like they can move anything. I don't want to change anything. I know everything. Oh, even when I don't know everything, I know what I need to communicate. That's a lot of people say. Nta kintu nkeneye kwiga, ndavuga abantu bakanyumva, nanjye kandi numva ibyo bavuga. That's enough. You are in your comfort zone. You are in your comfort zone. Do you think that is good for you? Comfort zone. Today, we are going to talk about comfort zone. Welcome back to Pan Edutainment. This is teacher Gervais again with you, telling you about comfort zone. First of all, let's talk of the word of the day, which is the word. How do you read this word? Stagnant. Stagnant. Do you know when we say something is stagnant or someone is stagnant? This is when you are in a static way. You're not moving, you are still. If something is stagnant, it doesn't move, it doesn't change. This is what happens when people feel comfort, when they're in the comfort zone. When you feel like you know everything, you don't want to change, you don't want to learn, you don't want to improve. This is what happens. You become stagnant. Nuko bigenda iyo udashaka kugira icyo wiga gishya. Uzahora uri uwo nguwo. People will know you like that. Nothing will change. But today, I will talk to you about comfort zone. It's a state where you feel safe, relaxed, and confident because you are doing what you already know. When we say someone is in a comfort zone, ni handi tuvuga ngo uyu yumva yaragezeyo. Yagezeyo. Do you feel like you are in a comfort zone? Ese wumva waragezeyo? Kukumenya Cyongereza? Wumva nta bindi ushaka kwiga ni that's enough. I know a lot of things. I don't want to learn another thing. Now, when we see comfort zone, is it good? In one way, according to the definition, you can say, this is good. You are confident, you are relaxed, of course. You are safe. Because you are doing what you already know. Like, I'm talking to you in English because I know English. I'm comfortable. But what if I don't want to change for years? What if I say, I am going to be speaking like this all my life? This is going to be called comfort zone, but it's not good at all. It cannot just happen in languages. It happens in other corners of life. Let's say you are a singer and you feel like, you know what? I'm going to be singing in one voice and I will not change. Tuvuge kuri umuririmbyi, uravuga uti ntabwo nzigera mpindura still. Kuva natangira kuririmba kuzageza mpfuye. I will not change. You are in a comfort zone, but it's not good. The people in the comfort zone, language comfort zone, are using the same words over and over again, over and over again. Uzasanga umuntu amaze imyaka 10 yavuga Icyongereza ariko akivuga agisuhuza abantu nkuko yabasuhuzaga mu myaka 10 ishize. Akibabwira nkuko yababwiraga mu myaka 10 ishize. Avoiding challenges. Ntashaka there is an artist who sang nta kibazo na kimwe nshaka kwiteza. You know that's what happens. Ntushaka kwiteza ikibazo na kimwe. You don't want challenges. You don't want any correction. If I come here and I tell you, don't say this, but say this to sound better. Ninza nkakubwira ngo umva kugira ngo bibe byiza kurushaho, speak like this. You will say, no, that's annoying. I already know what I do and I don't want to change. This is a person in a comfort zone. You will find them avoiding advanced conversations. They say, that's not mine. I do this. I don't speak like that. Let's say you are in English and you say, do you know anything about literature? And you say, no way, you know what? I didn't study literature. And I'm not going to do that. That's for the people speaking, or the people in the areas of literature. That's what happens with the people in the comfort zone. But today I will talk to you about how dangerous it is and how you can step out of the comfort zone. The people in the comfort zone actually have a slow progress. Nta na rimwe uzigera ubona uwo muntu ahinduka. You will always hear the same words, the same way, the same tone. Let's say the people like us, being not the native speakers of languages, twe tutarabene ururimi, tuba dukeneye buri gihe guhora twiga, tugahindura imivugire, tukongera imbaraga mu byo dukora. That's why I say, when you are in a comfort zone, you will always be slow in your progress. There is nothing going on with you. You will have repeated mistakes. Can you imagine committing mistakes for 5 years and they don't change? This is what happens with the people in the comfort zone. Limited expression. There is a limit always. You don't want to push your boundaries and get to something bigger. Loss of confidence. Nta cyizere uzigirira. If you are still in a comfort zone, uzahoraho ngaho. Let's say you are a teacher and you think, I will always teach the primary school. I don't want to teach the old people. You know what? Nta na rimwe uzigera ukura. You will always be that fragile, that low. That's why I don't encourage comfort zone this time. So this way, step with me to this level of seeing what happens when we are in a comfort zone. These words are the words in relation to the comfort zone. Aya ni amagambo dukoresha ku bantu bavuga ko bagezeyo. Ni abantu bagezeyo ariko tugiye kubareba ibibabaho. These words, you can start using them in real life conversations. As I've said, being stagnant means being stuck, like being limited. Nta mpinduka. Ahora ari uwo nguwo. Ntava aho ari. Yaragwingiye. Let's say that in an understandable language. Yaragwingiye. Ntakura. In language, you are stagnant. If you always use the same words over and over again, you are stagnant. You are stuck. You are being stuck. You are moving and something stops you. And you are here. You don't move. You don't go backwards. You also don't move forward. You are stuck. Let's say in this days Kinyarwanda, waragosque. You are just there. You are going to stay there if you don't want to improve. If you don't want to step out of your comfort zone. You are inert. The same thing. Being inert means you are not able to move. The people who studied physics, you studied what they call inertia. I think it has something to do with being inert. Now, if you are inert, you are not able to move. So, if you don't want to be inert in English language, step out of your comfort zone, try something new, try something that is different from what you actually do. This is the way you're going to feel natural and you are going to improve. Being complacent, it's also the same thing. You feel like, oh, I have reached where I wanted and I don't want to move on. Complacent. Let's say this person feels complacent to the extent that he never wants to go on learning. Uyu muntu rwose yumva yarize byose yagezeyo nta nubwo ashaka gukomeza. He's complacent. Are you complacent in English? Please don't be unless you are a native speaker. But tell you what, native speakers also study, they learn, they keep growing in language. That's why we say being complacent could not be something I recommend. Being retrograde. Now, this is worse. Maybe being complacent at least can be, if you know that you have attained a certain level and you feel like you don't want to move on, that's okay. But what if you are now retrograde? Retrograde, it's like when you're moving backward. And this happens a lot in English and in languages. Because if you don't practice, you get retrograde. You get backward. Urasubira inyuma rwose. ururimi uraruvuga. If you don't speak, if you don't practice, you retrograde. You're getting retrograde. So start using these words also in your life, in your real life conversations. If you don't want to stay in your comfort zone, don't always say, oh, I'm stuck. You can also say, I'm inert, or I'm stagnant, or you know what? It feels like I'm retrograde. I'm getting back. I'm now getting back to where I came from, and it's worse. Another consequence of being in a comfort zone is being predictable. Do you know me being predictable? Ni cya gihe abantu bakumenyera bakaba bazi uburyo uvuga. Wafata ijambo ahantu bakabazi si bya bindi agiye kuvuga se. He's the same thing. He doesn't change. He's predictable. It is predictable. You are also being predictable. If you always say the same words, you are predictable. Nta na rimwe umuntu azitega ibidasanzwe kuri wowe. You are that person. You don't change. Because you feel like you are in a comfort zone and you feel like you are good, but people will be tired. People will be annoyed of listening to you. And so, don't be predictable. You always have to surprise people. Surprise people by the way you speak, by the way you do everything. So, let's head up now to the best choice that you can make. You can choose either to stay in your comfort zone or step out of the comfort zone. Ushobora guhitamo gukomeza kuba ahuri ahumva ko rwose wagezeyo, cyangwa se ugahitamo kujyana natwe ugasohoka ukava muri ibyo. You keep improving. Step out of your comfort zone. You can decide to venture. Venture means you try something else, something that you never done before, something that you never did before. You have to step out and venture. Decide to venture. All these words are also important for you. We are both learning in a very, very personal way, but this can also help you when you're talking, when you're using these words like venture. Venture means trying something new. She decided to venture into speaking English with strangers. This is a good example. Let's say you always talk to your neighbors and they make you feel like you are all good in English, but maybe you never met someone who is stranger. And guess what? If you meet someone stranger, that's when you will realize that maybe your English is good or not. Because some of the times we are just with our neighbors, the people that we like, the people that know us from the start, and they always encourage us. Of course, they don't want to make us lose hope. Hari igihe tuba turi kumwe n'abantu batuzi badashaka ko tumenya ko dufite intege nke. But sometimes hari igihe uzahura na wa muntu ukurenze. That's when you will know that maybe your English is. So, start doing that in advance. Tangira ubyimenyereze. Shaka abantu bashya. Look for strangers and talk to them in English. Venture into something new. Push your boundaries. Push your boundaries. You know that the boundaries are the areas where you can't bypass. So, in English, if you push your boundaries, you also try something new. Kurenga imbibi. Nta mbibi zihari mu kwiga. You can always push your boundaries. That's what I tell you. Push your boundaries. The next thing you can do is, of course, step out of your comfort zone. Step out. Get free. Break free. That's all the same thing. You know, breaking free is like you've been tied up and you are now breaking free from the habits, from the limits, from the fear. Va muri ibyo. Don't always use the same words. Don't always be you. You can change. Don't make yourself predictable, as I said. Don't make yourself predictable. You can change and you can do better than you do. Thank you very much. That was about comfort zone. And even if it's good, but I don't want to make you stay in the comfort zone. Get out of it, practice more, and grow in your English. See you next time. This is Teacher Gervais.